Okay guys, welcome again. In the first part we talk about the concepts of VLANs, the purpose and advantages of VLANs, and also the types of VLANs. In this video I will clarify how VLANs work, talking about the ranges of VLANs and discussing about disadvantages of VLANs. A VLAN is identified on network switches by a VLAN ID. See, VLAN 2, 3 and 4. Each port on a switch can have one or more VLAN IDs assigned to it. For example, this port or gigabit Ethernet 1 or 2 assigned to VLAN 2 and gigabit Ethernet 1 or 3 assigned to VLAN 3 and will land in a default VLAN if no other one is assigned. Each VLAN provides data link access to all hosts connected to switch ports configured with its VLAN ID. A VLAN ID is translated to a VLAN tag, a 12-bit field in the header data of every Ethernet frame sent to that VLAN. Because a tag is 12 bit long, see, 2 to the power of 12, it is up to 4096 VLANs can be defined per switching domain. VLAN tagging is defined by IEEE and the 802.1q standard. When an Ethernet frame is received from an attached host, it has no VLAN tag. The switch adds the VLAN tag. In a static VLAN, the switch inserts the tag associated with the ingress port's VLAN ID. In a dynamic VLAN, it inserts the tag associated with the device's ID or the type of traffic it generates. Switch received Ethernet frame from an attached host forward tagged frames toward their destination via media access control address, forwarding only to ports with which the VLAN is associated. Broadcast, unknown unicast, and multicast traffic is forwarded to all ports in the VLAN. Trunk links between switches know which VLANs span the switches, accepting and passing along all traffic for any VLAN in use on both sides of the trunk. When a frame reaches its destination switch port, the VLAN tag is removed before the frame is transmitted to the destination device. Spanning Tree Protocol, or STP, is used to create loop-free topology among the switches in each Layer 2 domain. A pair VLAN STP instance can be used, which enable different Layer 2 topologies. A multi-instance STP can also be used to reduce STP overhead if the topology is the same among multiple VLANs. We will discuss about STP protocol by details in the next episode. Each VLAN on the network must have a unique virtual ID. The valid range of user configurable VLANs is 1 to 1024. The valid range of VLANs is specified in the IEEE 802.1q standard is 1 to 4094. This table describes VLAN ranges and their use. See the table. VLAN 0 and VLAN 4095 reserved for system use only, and VLAN 1 is a default VLAN. Also, VLAN 2 to VLAN 1001 is normal VLANs for Ethernet VLANs, and also VLAN 1002 to 1005 are normal Cisco defaults for FDDI and token ring. Also, VLAN 1006 up to VLAN 1024 reserved for system use only. VLAN 1025 to 4094 extended for Ethernet VLANs only. Also, this VLAN or this range is only supported in VTP version 3. VLANs help control broadcast traffic, tighten security, ease administration, and improve performance. but they have some disadvantages too. One disadvantage of VLANs in a modern data center or cloud infrastructure is the limit of 4096 VLANs per switching domain. A single network segment may host tens of thousands of systems and hundreds or thousands of distinct organizations, each of which may need tens or hundreds of VLANs. To address this limitation, other protocols have been created, including virtual extensible LAN, network virtualization using generic routing encapsulation. They support larger tags, which enables more VLANs to be defined, and the ability to tunnel layer 2 frames within layer 3 packets. Another disadvantage is that when VLANs are numerous and large, the network can have a difficult time managing the spanning tree structure is needed to prevent traffic loops. The easiest fix for this is to remove redundant links from the network. Unfortunately, that then leaves the network vulnerable to a single point of failure anywhere a redundant link was removed. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share the video with your friends.